Welcome to the Juice Radio Talk Show. 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 Reality TV, church reviews. Let's talk happy love and marriage lifestyle. Come and talk with us. Come and share with us. Come and laugh with us. Come on and pray with us.
Regina and Clovis, special guests. You should be following your lead. Bless. Subscribe on YouTube. Listen on podcasts. We live on IG and Facebook. This episode is sponsored by Truth and Triumph Ministries.
Well, hello. And just like that, we're back. All right, you guys, here's another great story. Let me share this news article with y'all. I want y'all to see this picture of this gentleman, and I have dropped his YouTube channel link in the description on this page. His channel is there. It is let me just go ahead and bring his picture up here. Here we go. All right. Here is his picture on the screen here. This is Flash Shelton. Flash Shelton, that's his name. Flash Shelton is a gentleman who had to take back his property from squatters. This was his mom's property, and he had to take it back from squatters. Squatters had broken into his mom's property, and Flash Shelton had to find a way to get them out, to get back possession of his mom's property. And he turned the tables on these particular squatters who thought they were going to be there. And they thought that, the legal system is going to take months before we allegedly get out. Allegedly, this is what they thought. Before we get out, it's going to be a while. We're going to be here for a while. That's what they thought. But no. They had broken into and squatted in the wrong property. Flash was not having it. Flash decided he was going to be a lot more clever than the squatters. And he actually did what the squatters did. I'm going to read this article to you guys because this story was interesting. Flash is also on a mission to have things changed in the legal system where these squatters get more penalized with the legal system than they have been in the past. He has a YouTube channel, you guys, where he shares his full story, pictures and all of that, the whole process. He videoed these people, you guys. Yes, he videoed the individuals that had broken into his mom's home. He's got the video footage. He shares it on his channel. His YouTube channel is Handyman Answers. Handyman Answers. When you go to his YouTube channel, you will see a round logo that he's using. That's his channel. All right, y'all go over there and subscribe. I have already subscribed because let me tell you, it's a good channel to be on. All right, so let me read this story to you guys. Let me read this story. You guys, this was something else. All right, so it says here, and this is coming from Fox News. This is coming from Fox News. All right. So it says here, a California man launched a petition last week to make squatting federal illegal after illegal occupants took over his mother's home in March. All right. Listen, he's not playing. He launched a petition to make squatting federal illegal. And he, let me tell you, rightfully should. It says also in the story, it says a lot of people have reached out saying, why don't you do something positive with your attention? Flash Shelton, who founded the United Handyman Association, told Fox News. So I started looking into the laws and realized that there is no law. Pause for a minute, you guys. That's the issue that landlords and property owners are having. There's not enough laws to protect these property owners and to make penalties for people who illegally break into properties that don't belong to them and take up residence. There's not enough laws out there and penalties for them. Let me go ahead and continue. And remember, I am not here to bash people that do not have a place to stay and they're literally really homeless. I'm on a mission to help find residences for them, buildings or organizations, something for them to reside in legally. Organizations, I'm trying to reach out to people to have them to see what they can do to get people to have buildings that they can share with organizations that are helping to try and find ways for homeless people to have a place to lay their head. So that my mission is not to bash, but I also want to protect property owners and landlords and investors. I want to protect their properties as well. So in order for us to do that, we may have to tackle both. You want to help the people who are homeless that need a place to live, and you want to help the landlords. But then there's also that other one, the people who are not necessarily homeless. They just don't want to pay no rent. They just don't want to pay any rent. But let me continue with this story, okay? Because Shelton he's doing a really good job here, a good deed. It says Shelton's story received national attention earlier this year, after he staked out his mother's California home to wait for squatters to leave for the day so he could take it back. Now, this is where it gets interesting, you guys. So, squatters were in the property. Shelton knew the squatters were in the property, but remember, some of these legal systems and stuff or whatever, they be like, well, they say they had a phony lease, because some people have these phony leases, fraudulent leases. And then the legal system, the police may come and say, well, we can't kick them out. They got a lease. You got to take it to court. You got to take this up in court. And courts can take a long amount of times, even though the real owner is there saying, I did not give them a lease. This is probably what was going on with Flash Shelton. So he decided, well, let me think a little bit about this. And he turned the tables. So he waited for these people who were in the property. He was staking out his property, hiding somewhere, watching it, waiting patiently. And when they left, Shelton decided to take that property back. Now, some of you might say, well, isn't it illegal for him to take it back? Nah, that's that gray area. Let me share this story with y'all, and we're going to talk about that. All right. So Shelton did this. It says, once he secured the property, because he went in, it tells you on this video, he had the key. He had the key to the property. So he went in, he secured the property, he installed cameras, and told the women who returned to get their belongings and leave. What Shelton did was, he did what the squatters did. He went in the property and he told them, I'm now the person who's residing in this property and you are not. So you have to get your stuff and get out of this property. That's basically what Shelton did. Let me keep reading this because it gets good. All right. It says on here, it says, dozens of people who are sympathetic or have similar situations reached out to Shelton. I've had an outcry and from, messages and comments and emails of people just saying it's wrong and somebody needs to do something, he said. This is not about me. This is Shelton saying this. He said, it's bigger than me and I should do something to help the cause with this attention. So he wanted to, let me pause. He wanted to take the attention and he was getting so many people were reaching out to them because his story hit the news. And so people were reaching out to him, finding him online and saying, listen, you need to do something. You got this attention on you, do something. So Shelton decided he's going to do something. Let me continue with the story. It says, Shelton said he hopes his petition can get enough momentum to make squatting illegal at the national level. That's very important. We need this. He also said he hopes such a law would allow law enforcement to take action. Now, let me pause. That's part of the other problem. Law enforcement state that they cannot get involved in it because it's a legal matter. This is where the landlords want the police departments to be able to have more of an involvement. And I would say if the property owners can show valid proof that this is their property, that they did not allow or authorize these people to be in their properties, I believe the police department should have the people removed at that very moment. And this is sort of what Shelton is trying to do to get this to be in place. And not only that, if it is found that the people were illegally trespassing on these properties, then part of that would be that they would not only be asked to leave, but they would be arrested and face criminal charges. Okay? Or civil charges or whatever charges you may say, but face some charges. All right? Let me go on. It says, this is Shelton speaking. He said, I figured if I go national, then it's going to be heard in the other states as well. Shelton said, adding that he hopes to work with the people in other states to spread the word on his petition as well. It also says the petition has gathered more than 80 signatures as of Tuesday morning. That's this week, Tuesday morning. It's probably way more than that now. It says right now, squatting itself is not illegal, the petition states. This creates a shield and desire to trespass and set up house. Pause. That's ridiculous that this happens. The petition is on the link. When you go into the story on my YouTube channel, go in my description. I put the link to the story. You look in the story and the petition is there. If you want to sign this petition, look in the description. The news article is there. Okay. And the petition states it in there in the article. And he says here, he says, please sign this petition and make squatting an illegal act, it adds. This will shift the burden of proof onto the squatters and make the crime punishable with restitution and option for damages. That part, that is in the part I want y'all to be aware of, because what happens a lot of time when squatters break into people's property and they cause damages, usually the people say, okay, just leave, just get out. But who takes care of the damages? The property owner. The property owner has to do that. So Shelton is saying, I didn't do the damages basically, or the owners didn't do the damage. The squatters did the damages. So they should be liable to reimburse these property owners for the damages that they did. And I totally agree. Somebody should be held liable. Now, you might say, well, they were squatters. They don't have any money. They may not do anything. They may not ever be able to pay, but that judgment will follow them, because you never know, one day they might hit the lottery. And that judgment needs to be there on their record so that somehow it will show you owe somebody some money. Let me go ahead and finish reading this so I can get out of here for the next story here. All right. All right. So look, it says Shelton took up several steps to secure his mother's home, including having his mom write a lease and put utilities in his name. Shelton said, I'm the new tenant. I am the new tenant. He said, I had keys to the house. And at that point, I would have entered the house. And if the squatter can take a house, I can take a house. You better tell him, Shelton. Shelton said, if a squatter can take a house, I can take a house too. I love it. I am loving this story, you guys. It said that he said during an interview with Jesse Walters. And it says also, it says Shelton hoped his actions would help him use existing laws on trespassing and secure the California home. He said, if I enter the house, they can't kick me out just as much. But with having a lease and keys and utility bills at that point, now mind you, let me pause. Shelton got his mom to give him a lease in his name and keys, and Shelton put utilities in his name. Why? Because what Shelton was doing was he was getting right from the real property owner, so he could use that as valid proof. The real property owner said, I had a right to be here, because that way if police would have come, they could have easily told Shelton, well, you don't own the house and they don't own the house, so we can't tell you who really is supposed to be here. So Shelton thought ahead of the game. He says, well, I know the police may come and say, who's really supposed to be here? So Shelton had his utility bills ready. They're in my name. He had his lease ready. This is from the real owner. And he was not there to play no games. I love it. Victory. All right, let me keep reading. It says, Shelton says, if they call the police would tell them the same thing. Shelton told Walters, if I call the police, I can say, hey, I have an intruder in my house and they broke in the back door. And then the story goes on to say, Casey is the writer of this particular story. I'm going to give credit to her. Hey, Casey, thank you for the story. Casey Dillon, thank you so much for the story. You guys, y'all have to go over to Shelton's page. I want to show y'all these pictures. Let me show y'all these pictures. Let me show y'all these pictures, you guys. Look at this. Ah! You guys, this is everything the squatters had in the house. Now, I didn't see on here on this story how long these people were in there, but look at all this stuff out here. All this stuff. Let me make this big so y'all can see. Look at this stuff. All this stuff in here, those people had in that house. And Shelton's like, y'all better get this stuff out of here. Shelton's like, get this stuff out of here. Look at this. Look at the pictures. Look at this. All this stuff they had in that house. That's crazy. Now, mind you this, had they left all that stuff in there, you know who would be responsible for getting all that stuff out of there and paying to have it removed? Shelton would, and his mother. They would have been responsible for that, getting all that stuff out of there. Well, Shelton turned the tables and he has taken back possession of his mom's home. But not only has he taken back possession, Shelton is going the step further. He is making sure that other people does not have to endure what he did. And he's doing that by sharing his story. And not only that, he's going even further. He's making sure that laws get changed so that this is not so easy for the next time somebody decides they want to be a squatter. All right, y'all, I have been loving these conversations today. I'm going to be sharing more information. I have stories coming up. You want to be reminded when I go live, you guys. You want to get into this information. A lot of you new investors, you want to click on my channel, The Juice Radio and Talk Show, for this financial awareness. The Juice Radio and Talk Show on my YouTube channel, and also go over to Shelton's channel, Handyman Awareness. Y'all go over there, Handyman. Y'all go over to Shelton's channel. Y'all go over there to his channel. Check him out. Subscribe today. Remember to hit that notification bell on my YouTube channel, The Juice Radio and Talk Show, where we're going to have some more interesting information, knowledge that we are sharing on the channel. Thank you all for being here today. It's been fun. I'm out of here for right now. But listen, if you did not see my previous videos, go back, check those out, and be back here when that notification bell goes off, because that's going to be time to have some more interesting stories. All right. Y'all have a blessed evening. Stay safe out there and secure your properties. Secure your properties. All right. I'll see y'all on the next one. Bye.
Do you enjoy smooth jazz saxophone? T.D. McCullum has 2 singles available with more to come. The first is an original song called Groove With Me, featuring the classic sounds of Washington, D.C. go-go and his smooth jazz saxophone. The second is called Drunk on Love, a smooth jazz saxophone cover of Rihanna's Drunk on Love from her 2011 Talk That Talk album. Both are available on all major streaming platforms like Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, YouTube Music, and more. Add them to your favorite library and playlist today. And follow Tyrone on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at Mr. T.D. McCullum for your music and bookings. JoJo Speaks is a YouTube channel that goes live every Thursday at 9:30 p.m. with hot topics and social commentary. Come join Delight of the Leo, Mr. T.D. McCullum, and our good friend Mike, Mr. Real 121, for fun and JoJo's unique spin on today's top stories. Go to YouTube, subscribe, like, share, and comment. If you are struggling to figure out who you are and where you're heading, but need a little light to bring you back on track, subscribe to The Light of the Leo for some healing and real conversation. Here is where you will find encouragement and the reminder that you are not alone. Continue your journey to freely be yourself at all times with The Light of the Leo. She goes live Mondays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with her co-host, accountability partner, and little bro, JoJo Speaks. Join Faithful Warrior Ministries for our family and friends Saturday morning prayer. Every Saturday morning at 10-ish a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have a great time catching up, sharing testimonies, and having transparent, real conversations about life. We encourage each other and show how we can fit God into each equation of our lives. Enjoy a devotional reading and family prayer. You have a prayer family with Faithful Warrior Ministries. Subscribe on YouTube at Faithful Warrior Ministries, and on Facebook, like us at Faithful Warrior Men. That's M-I-N as in Ministries. Join Pastor Lorenzo Evans and Living in Grace Ministries. The messages are not social media driven. They teach what's true and not what's popular. Living in Grace Ministries goes live every Saturday morning at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be sure to subscribe on YouTube to Living in Grace Ministries and click on the notification bell. Pastor Lorenzo also has It Takes a Village podcast on the first and third Saturday of each month, pushing to bring back the village concept. We are more powerful when we are united. Together we stand, and division is not an option. A heartfelt thank you to all of our subscribers who joined us for this video. If you have not already subscribed, go to our YouTube channel, The Juice Radio and Talk Show. Subscribe and click on the notification bell to be alerted whenever we go live. Join our private Juice community. Go to www.thejuicecommunity.com and sign up for free. Follow us on our podcast channel, The Juice Radio and Talk Show Podcast, streaming on all podcast platforms. A great big thank you to our podcast production company, Noye Podcast Productions. They can help you create your own podcast also. Contact them today at houseofnoye.com. Thank you to our sponsor, Custom Apparel Shop. Have them complete your embroidery work and silk screening needs. Do you need a logo created for your fashion apparel or company? Contact Israel Mason today. That is 786-657-7501. Thank you to our main sponsor, Truth and Triumph Ministries. Truth and Triumph Ministries, a ministry that cares about telling people the truth so they can triumph in life. Thank you, Truth and Triumph Ministries, for all you do.